Rob, let me interrupt you because on our hotline right now we have Max Miller, who was there tonight running against Anthony Gonzalez in the 16th district. And let's welcome Max Miller. First time I've met Max. Well, we really haven't met, but verbally we're meeting. Max, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
How was? How long was your day today?
Let's just say it was one of the longer days I've had, but at the same time, it was one of the most rewarding days that I've ever had. So we're ending on a very, very high note with President Trump and his support, and the support of everyone in the 16th district to go ahead and unseat Turncoat Tony.
Max, and we're talking with Max Miller, who's running for Congress right here in the state of Ohio against Anthony Gonzalez. And Max, I totally impressed today. I mean, I liked everything you said. Totally impressed today, Max. I have to tell you that.
Well, I more than appreciate that. And what it comes down to is, I always had the president's back for the 5.5 years that I was with him, and he's always had mine. And the sole reason why I'm doing this and why I'm running for Congress is because Anthony Gonzalez has lost his way. He no longer represents the constituents' interests, and he puts his own interests above theirs. And that's not how this should work. And even in the Republican Party, these people need to see the door and they need to go. And that's why I'm in this race with the president's support. And that's why I am the individual who is going to get Turncoat Tony, as I like to call him, or weak Republican or Rhino, out of office and put a true America First conservative in. So, but I appreciate the kind words you said earlier. Thank you.
Hey, Max, Rob Walgate here. And my question for you, as you know, Ohio is about to lose a congressional seat, so we'll be down to 15. And as the redistricting takes place, do you have, I mean, you have no say in it, but do you have a preference on how you would like to see the district drawn? Suburbs included, city included? How, is there anything that you would be like, yes, that would be perfect for my district?
Well, I think being a Republican in the state of Ohio, we're in a very advantageous position because every major legislator from the House on down in the Senate, including, governor all the way down, they're all Republican. So they're not going to want to see a Republican seat put in jeopardy, especially one that is so safe as the 16th district, which is right now in R+8. From some of the maps that I've seen, the district grows stronger and more red. And, Mr. Gonzalez is putting out this cute fodder that he thinks that's an advantage to him. Well, I have to tell you, Turncoat Tony, it's not, because you're going to have to go out and court new voters that have already made their judgment on you and your decision, and you can never turn back from that vote, nor can you explain it in the several different reasons and ways that I've heard it. So to answer your question, more than cautiously optimistic on how the district's going to turn out and the layout, and the demographic, I believe, will remain the same. And if it's not an R+8, I truly do believe it'll go to an R+10.
Gotcha. One more question, if I may, Triv. Max, obviously you have roots here in Cleveland, Northeast Ohio. How did you meet President Trump?
I met President Trump in February of 2016, and just how it happened, Corey Lewandowski gave me a phone call when I was working for then Senator Rubio, and he said, verbatim, "Hey, I heard you're not too bad at your job. You want to come work for us?" And I said, "Well, what do I have to do?" He said, "Well, you have to resign and come work for Mr. Trump." And I said, "Absolutely." Look, at that point early on, the writing was on the wall. This guy was a fighter. He's unfiltered. He's authentic. And he brings common sense to the table. So the first time I ever met him was in February 2016 as I was helping put together a rally. And that's how I started. And, President Trump gave me a shot. But not only did he give me a shot, he also rewarded me because everything he ever asked me to do, I always did to the best of my ability. And that is the same thing that I'm going to do for the 16th district and the constituents.
Max, we're talking with Max Miller. Max, you were a senior advisor for President Trump. Could you explain briefly that position?
Sure. So that was towards the end of the administration for 2 months. The position I like talking about the most is when I was the youngest director of advance in White House history. And what that means and entails is every time that man left the gates of what we would call 18A, the White House, 18 acres, is that I would work with White House military office and Secret Service in coordinating logistics and movements, not only the safety, but also for the event production that went into it. That also has a segue to foreign trips. So when he would go to Iraq, Afghanistan, North Korea, Japan or France for the G7 or G20, I would go and negotiate on his behalf. So I have sat in these rooms with foreign diplomats, negotiated on behalf of the President of the United States and the American people as a whole, and really fought for them. They would give me policy positions that I would have to hold the line on. And these were situations that, in decisions that I had to make almost on a daily basis. But I was confident in making them because I worked for a true leader, and I genuinely care about the American people, as I've already dedicated my life to public service. If not in the Marine Corps Reserve, it's been, in government. And real quick, my grandmother, Ruth Miller, ran for Congress in 1980, and I believe what was in the 22nd district. And she ran a heck of a race. But public service, it's in my blood. My family's been in Cleveland since the 1920s in the area, and it's something I feel very passionate about.
And until tonight, I did not know this, and that's probably my fault. I didn't know you were a Marine also. I did not know that, Max.
Well, yeah, it's because a lot of the papers that write about me only want to talk about the negative things, right? The fake left, the socialist mob. Of course, they don't want to put that I'm a United States Marine. Why would they, Trip? Because that just gives me a one-up on them, right? So it doesn't surprise me much.
And Max, before I let you go, you
That's correct.
did you know that me and him were pretty close friends?
I've heard. Yeah, my father told me that. I had mentioned that I was, hopefully going to be speaking to you tonight. I'm glad it worked out that you two knew each other very well. And
Yes.
we miss him. He was a great guy, and he was great, for the city of Cleveland and Ohio, just as a state, and what he was able to do to really help everyone out.
Yeah, Max, is politics something that you've always wanted to do, or is this just hit you recently?
It's something that I've always considered, but Republicans always say, and Democrats always say, everything hinges on this election. Everything, and it's a talking point they use year after year after year. Well, I'm sick of sitting on the sidelines because what I see from the Biden administration, we are moving towards socialism at a rapid, rapid pace. So, when I was in D.C., I sat in these rooms with these congressmen, these congresswomen, senators, governors, when they would come in, and I saw that they just forgot about the silent majority, the everyday working man and woman. And you see that with Anthony Gonzalez and the vote that he made. And then his vote on amnesty for millions of illegal immigrants coming into this country while the border's a national security crisis and a humanitarian disaster. That's why I'm doing this, because I know that I can do a better job not only representing the constituents of the 16th district, but really being a voice for the American people and fighting back and not caring what the left says or not caring whatever slanderous things my opponents may say. I'm in this for all the right reasons, and I'm fortunate, and I look forward to earning the support of each and every voter in that district, not just because I'm the Trump-endorsed candidate, because I truly do care, and I want to get to know them, and I want to know what impacts them so I can fight for them, and they're depend on me to go to Washington, D.C.
Rob, anything you want to add before we let Max go?
Max, I'll leave it at this. Let's look to the future. Let's say you do get elected. Let's say you go to Congress, you sit down, and they tell you the first bill you write will become law. You've got one. You're going to write it, and it's going to become law. What's the most important thing that you want to see done from day one that you can get accomplished if told that?
I mean, I got to tell you, two things that come to mind are obviously election security and immigration. But right now, I mean, it's honestly a tough one. What I see in this country right now with illegal immigration, we need to take a hard stance. Without borders, we don't have a country. And that's going to infiltrate, and not only will our kids, but our grandkids, and every generation will have to pay for that. These individuals are being bussed into cities across the entire country, and people don't realize that. And we're going to end up paying the tax burden for it. So I'm going to go in there and be a staunch fighter to continue what President Trump did in his 4 years and secure our southern border. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And then right after that, if not equal, election security. I mean, for the People Act, as the Democrats like to call it. No, it's for them. Republicans want to make it easy to vote and hard to cheat. Democrats want to make it easy to vote and easy to cheat. And you saw that with the election that we just had in 2020.
Max, you just nailed it. If I'd like to give you a hug, I really would. I don't understand how in the hell people don't understand what the hell you just said and how important it is to this country, both those issues.
Well, believe me, I would like to go on a third one about China, but I know we probably don't have the time because there's a reason why the Chinese have the largest navy in the world, and it's not just to say that they have it. You know what I mean, Triv?
Yeah. Hey, if you ever want to spend about an hour during the week on my show, give me let us know, and we could get into a lot of these issues because I like what the hell you're saying right now, and what you're saying is so important for this country, and I just don't understand. But I think the majority of people know and understand what you just said. It's just that people, they'll vote D, they'll vote R, no matter what the situation is. And I think that's what needs to be explained to people, Max. And I think you're doing a great job of it right now in a brief time.
Look, and I'll wrap it up with this, and I'm going to come on your show more than many times, and hopefully spend a lot more time with you. But look, there's an analogy that I like to give. Okay, everyone in this country, they have a home, an apartment, a condominium, a house, whatever it may be. One person comes to your door that's helpless. Would you let them in? Probably. But would you just let your door open to every single person who wanted to come into your home and use it and then take everything from you? So why would we let them do that to our southern border? This is why we need fighters in Congress who are going to run their mouth like I will and fight back. Enough of this woke crap, people siding with Nancy Pelosi 38% of the time like Turncoat Tony. What you get with me is what you see. It's a fighter. So, I appreciate the time on the show. I really hope I get to come back on if you let me very soon, but definitely enjoyed the experience tonight. And, I just want to say God bless President Trump and his entire family because he's still the leader of our party. And for those who don't recognize that, they soon will come primary time next year.
Max Miller, thank you for the time, and you have an open invitation. We will have you on again, I promise you, Max. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thanks, Max.